Welcome back. Kansas promotes 988 as a lifeline for people in crisis. New state data shows calls and texts aren't always answered fast enough, though, and centers in Kansas are short-staffed. Investigator Keith Grant went inside the ComCare 988 call center in Wichita to find out what that means when seconds matter.
ComCare is Sedgwick County's mental health agency, one of just 5 centers in the state answering 988 calls and texts. A new report shows Kansas is missing key response goals, particularly for crisis texts, which younger people are more likely to use. A crisis counselor takes a 988 call at ComCare,
about that, okay?
walking the caller through their crisis. New data from the state shows nearly 90% of calls are answered within seconds. Jennifer Wilson, ComCare director, says those first 5 seconds are crucial.
The target is to get that call under that time frame.
For building trust and getting the person help. Otherwise, the person may hang up.
And, of course, we have to get positions filled.
Lindsay Selzer heads up the 988 Lifeline at ComCare. She says 40% of its crisis counselor positions are unfilled.
We've gone through phases where staffing felt good, and then we kind of just, right now we're in a rough patch.
Not only can people call 988, they can text. On average, though, 57% of those texts are answered. The state has yet to meet its 80% goal. ComCare says that's because not all centers can text people in crisis.
So, of course, not having everyone answer chat and text would influence the percentage of chat and text getting answered.
If no one at ComCare answers a text, a person at another center will.
They want to know that their call or text is going to be answered. Is that something that you can guarantee for people today?
Somebody who calls, chats, texts will get help. Whether it will be at ComCare, we don't know.
You know, we try our best to answer as much as we can whenever possible, but we do have those safety nets in place to roll a route to a center, and your call and chat or text can be answered. And unfortunately, sometimes it is a longer wait than we would like.
Yeah.
A reminder, though, if you call or text 988, help is available. If your message isn't answered locally, it may be routed to another crisis center.
A Factfinder alert so you don't fall for it. The Kansas Department of Children and Families says they found 5 electronic benefit transfer terminals in the Wichita area that have been hacked. Devices placed on the terminals allow scammers to steal card information and your PIN number. These skimming devices are not new, though. Thomas Lynch learned how you can keep your personal information safe.
They're always looking for new and inventive ways to use them.
With the recent EBT card scams in Wichita, it's a good reminder to make sure you're staying safe when paying with cards.
If anything looks odd or off or different from the last time you've used it, it's a good chance for you to take the opportunity and stop.
In the past, skimmer machines have been found on ATMs, debit and credit card machines, and gas pumps.
All they're doing is reading the information that's available on your card and sending that somewhere else.
They don't instantly charge your card, but they take and store your data, meaning it could be weeks before you even realize you've been hacked.
Some of them have, a place where they can wirelessly function and upload directly to the cloud. Some of them have to be manually and physically collected.
It's important when you use a card reader to be aware. Make sure to check to see if it looks bulkier than usual. And you can even take where the card goes in and shake it a bit to see if it comes loose. And remember, in all else fails, tap to pay is much safer.
I think in general, you just need to remember that this can happen anytime, anywhere. And always just be cognizant about your surroundings and the machines that you're dealing with.
In Wichita, Thomas Lynch, 12 News.
Now, regarding those EBT scams, we reached out to the Kansas Department of Children and Families. They encourage cardholders to use the EBT Edge app, freeze the card when you're not using it, block out-of-state and online transactions, and regularly change your PIN number. If you have a story, we want to hear from you. You can call us or email our investigators at the address and the number you see there on your screen. We'll look into any of your issues for the next Factfinder Investigates.